Good. Thank you very much.
Yes, we'll have a small interaction with the sister. I have one or two questions.
A small break or something.
You need a break?
No, I thought there's small. No, no, like that. No. What they call it, small snacks. I thought that's what. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's go there. Let's go there. Yes, I brought. I thought I brought water. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you are not going to ask me tough questions.
No, you're not tough, inshallah. um, yeah? I thought it's just him.
No, I'm okay now.
Okay.
I'm set.
Okay. I'll just continue. I don't need to do any introduction.
Okay.
You are live. It's live stream.
Okay, sir. Recently, still on marital issues, right?
No.
Okay. Firstly, there seem to be a lot of, health issues in marriages, either from husbands or wives, especially the women. They seem to be undergoing mental and illness, mental
health issues.
mental health issues, and one will wonder why. And one want somehow, especially if it's women, one want to wonder, okay, maybe is it because of the man, or is there something missing in the marriage that they don't talk about? Because as we both know, communication is a key.
Okay, that could lead to this mental health.
Yes.
Things people talk about.
Yes, sir. So, and some couples, they like to keep their issues bottled up inside of them instead of communicating it out. So, you as a counselor, what do you think could be how do you think they should relate in issues like this to avoid mental health issues? Because you said it earlier that people should prioritize their mental health.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. Matters of marriage and mental health issue it gives off a vibe that many people are crazy now. Husbands are crazy, wives are crazy. It's quite complicated actually, especially for the modern day life that people live. Many reasons can affect people's mental health, marriage or no marriage at all. In the first place, the lifestyles we have created for ourselves, especially in this part of the world, lifestyle of wanting to be something, wanting to become what people will admire.
Yes.
Many people now, we are partial or part-time narcissists in one form or the other.
Yes.
We want to show off our wealth, want to have something that we can put out on the social media. We want to wear some kind of designer things that everybody is going to reckon with. You want to show your house, you want to show a very big mansion. You think it's not good enough to show the car you have, you prefer a bigger car. And then you think you want to show off some things to people who don't even care about what your life is all about. Some by ourselves, we put so much stress and tension problem in this regard. And this has been brought into matters of getting married in the first place. Oh, I don't know, can I introduce this man as my husband? What does he have? Who is he? Who are his friends? How trendy he is? Yeah. What is he doing with his life? You know, those kind of things. I don't know if I can present this woman. She's not a medical doctor. She's not an engineer. She's not a pilot, female pilot. She's not a soldier. Those kind of things create a lot of tension and stress up people's life. So stress, that's another thing that these lifestyles have brought our way. So husband is stressed, wife is stressed. The husband goes to work 9 to 5. The wife goes to work 9 to 5. They both earn salaries. Salaries are not enough. In fact, they say salaries are made in China. They don't last. And some get it's not alive anymore. Yeah, and some people, if the salary is an opium, it's like a drug. You get high when you just receive salary. After a few days, then you get depressed again. Yes. You wait till another month and you get high again. They say people are addicted to salaries. Business tomorrow, you are not trying to build a business. You just want to own a business, and they say your business $1 million. Yes, these are the kind of things that our lifestyle of capitalism, our lifestyle of the upstairs. Another thing that could be responsible for that is the way people age. Most couples don't consider changes in our lives as we grow. And so they are not ready to adapt to these changes. Let's say a couple that are just married now, they started having children. They have just started having children.
Yes.
The toil of bringing up a child for a mother to look after a toddler till when that baby is big enough to take care of him or herself, it's a whole lifetime job on its own.
Okay.
But some women will think they have not achieved well enough. Their own life has been put on hold because they are looking after a child. She wanted to do her master's. She wants to do it outside the country. She wants to build her business. She's an entrepreneur. She wants to pursue her career so that she becomes director in her place of work. She wants to write exam for her promotions. And she wants to satisfy herself, her family, her husband, everybody.
Okay.
All of that stress.
Boyfriend had a birthday party celebrated in the class, and the boyfriend was just spraying money, you know.
Oh,
so now do we not really
alone? We also put it on the society, we put it on the teachers, we put it on the educational system, and we put it on the children themselves.
Okay.
Because it's not put it on the children themselves.
Okay.
Because it's not, they don't represent all of the children. There are some of their colleagues who like what they were doing, who don't like what that birthday in the school. It's a very complicated matter. The educational system in Nigeria.
Okay.
This is just one of the so many other schools that are very upright and steadfast.
Okay.
Well, luckily enough, you may say that the video didn't show that it was an Islamic school.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean Islamic school.
Okay.
Some Islamic school.
All right.
Teachers understand this very well. You can have 100 students, maybe one or two of them may not do the right thing. Just like a shepherd, you can have 100 animals under your watch. One or two of them may go astray once in a while. So it's a very sorry picture to see.
Yes.
But I do hope that they are going to make adjustments. It's just part of the things that are happening in the society that we should not pretend as if we don't know about.
Yeah.
Many things are happening.
All right. Thank you very much. It's nice
Alhamdulillah.
having you with us in the studio, and we hope we'll get your attention at any time whenever the need arises.
Inshallah. Thank you
have a
very
good
much.
day.
Let's hope there will be 1Ummah tomorrow again.
Of course, there will.
Thank you very much. Now?
Okay. You want to take picture?
Oh, okay. Are we live?
Yeah,
Let's go.
we are live.
Please don't push me, there's something.
What is that?
This is what we are doing.
No. I'm using the wide angle camera. So.
Sit on the ground. This one, people are plenty here.
You can even use this chair. Yes. You are the one.
Can I show in the picture?
Yeah, you will show.
Please,
Alright, let's have this. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Previously, that's another one. That salam didn't go our mouth very well. Tuwo and egusi. Thank you very much. I think I'm free now.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Fauziya,
I know this is
please
business.
carry this for me.
And
I'll be going now. I have appointments.
no, I'm coming from the studio. Sorry.
All right. Thank you.
Of fun and there was a word or as sadness or something like that, you know. And when he was saying it, you could see the sadness in his face. Definitely, there's something but so us our parents, we know our children, we know what they're going through. We just give them with laptops, phones, TVs, you know, or friends to guide them. We need to know who our children are. Because I remember him saying the parents out there, they need to jot down what those children are seeing. They might say it, but they actually mean it. So we need to know who our children are. They learn a lot now from people from the media.
I went into Michael. I don't know about
You're not present. So we need to be very intentional.
Actually, exhausted.
We need to be very, very intentional
Oh, the two of them
about
are
children, about upbringing, about being close to them. Because I think that this child age is really a big problem because I see, okay, I think there was a time someone was talking about how many hours they played or a tablet, so to say, because a lot of children spend
Okay, you can look at this camera, but then it's a conversation. Except we maybe have a special message to pass across them and just look at the camera. But then for now, yes.
So can I do salam to you or good afternoon or good evening?
I'm a Muslim. So salam.
I've been ready since though.
Okay, we can start.
Yeah, people are the one I'm waiting for.
Okay, so Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mashallah, please can we get to know you?
Okay, I'm Shukra. I'm representing Marcus Concierge.
Mashallah, what does Marcus Concierge do?
Okay, Marcus Concierge, from the concierge name, we're a concierge service provider. So we do general concierge service and then halal concierge service. So out of the halal service, halal concierge, Hajj and Umrah is one of our flagship service. So mostly when people hear Marcus, they say, oh, they do Hajj and Umrah. So yeah.
It's like I did my visa with you people, my Umrah visa.
Almost like actually your name, I actually
Yes.
recognize it.
Yes,
I wanted to
yes.
talk about,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is now that it clicked on me that I did my Umrah visa with you. Okay, mashallah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So my next question, why have you been consistent with sponsoring the PUC?
Yeah, I mean, 1Ummah is probably the largest convention of Muslims in Nigeria, and then literally what we do is, conveying people to the largest gathering
Audience.
of Muslims on earth. So I mean, it's just a house in a gathering
Where your
of
target
Muslims.
markets-
Yes.
If I may say. Okay, that's nice. So how has it helped in the growth of your business and also interaction with people?
Okay, yeah, I mean, this is the largest gathering of Muslims, apart from Friday Jumu'ah Masjid. So, you come definitely, our target audience are here. And I can say, each time we've been sponsors for as long as I can remember. And I can say every time we come here, we get clients because, when we come, we share flyers. Sometimes we're able to get phone numbers of some contacts. So people call, oh, I got your flyer at 1Ummah. So yeah, it's been impactful.
And one thing I can say from my experience is you're very reliable.
Yes, we are.
And swift as
Alhamdulillah.
well. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So in respect of the Hajj and you do Hajj and Umrah, right?
Yes, we do.
So when somebody wants to book for either, do you just do visa or you have to do the full packaging, or just tell us?
Okay, yeah. We're concierge. We give you whatever you want. We can give you in pieces. Like you said, you've done your visa with us, so you can get that, or you can get your full package with us. And we have normal group packages who have an offer, and then you can also come tell us what you want. We tailor to your needs, and alhamdulillah, we've been able to deliver.
Okay, so do you do like a group, like Umrah group, or?
Yes, we do every month. We have ongoing group trips every month. We have for Ramadan, we have for Hajj, and then you can come and say, I want to go on this date, then would customize for you.
Okay, are there any discounts, like, okay, maybe I want to?
Yes, actually, we every time we come for 1Ummah, we always have 5% or 10% discount for people that register here.
Okay, so mashallah, that's nice. I hope I'll be able to go with my 1Ummah media team someday and have 20% discounts,
Inshallah.
so that we'll all go inshallah for the ibadat. Jazakallah khair for your time.
Thank you for having
Salam.
us. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Bismillah. Hey God. Okay, so
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
I like now to water for us.
That
They only
one.
have fan and AC. Okay, I brought
Haja,
my
come
bag
on.
here.
You and Amina. Let me go and look for water.
How is it, man?
Okay, I think I have your mic here.
Welcome, Salam. What do you want to talk about?
Is it Amina or Sharu too? Who is going?
Pitch to design. Again.
Pitch to me. Then what talk about it? What do you think?
Boss. Boss, waiting there happy. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's already past 5, and today's event is coming to a close, and in as much as I'm exhausted, I cannot wait to come back here tomorrow and experience the unity, the calmness in the chaos, the beauty of people. You know, there's a thing about people coming together. I don't know whether or not you know everyone. Seeing people gives you some sort of peace. You feel at ease. I don't know if it's just me, but I love the chaos, and it gives me this calm. And that is why tomorrow I am looking forward to coming back here and continue to be calm in all the chaos. What has been the highlight for you? What has been the most interesting thing? I understand that you presented for the pitch to win. How was that? At first, I was a bit nervous because I think that was my first time presenting in front of such a large crowd. But I think after a while, I kind of got into it because pitch to win has been kind of something that I've been passionate about for quite a few months. So to get to share with such a large crowd of people was actually quite touching to my heart, and to see how many people were invested in it, how many people seemed to be taken by the idea and wanted to be involved in it. It was great, alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. So aside that, is there any other thing that was like interesting to you? I understand that you're a huge fan of Walid Basyuni. So how was it? Were you in the hall when he was giving his lecture?
So I was in the hall when he gave his lecture in the afternoon about family dynamics, and I feel like his lecture really touched me because he not only talked about his own personal experiences, but he also touched on the Prophet and how he interacted with his family and his wives, and it was beautiful to also learn more about how the Prophet ﷺ was with his family, not to just know him as a prophet, mashallah, but as a father and a husband as well. It was wonderful, and I also got to be present when he was here for the studio session, so it was quite surreal, and he seemed like a very genuine character.
Personally, yeah, family dynamics is also my most favorite for today's lectures, and I think he spoke about quality time, and with the way the whole thing keeps going, the digital age and all of that, I feel like it's made it really hard for us to with our families, and I just feel like more of that needs to be discussed. We need more people to talk about time management and how we can put in spending quality time with our families into our schedules, because just now we were talking about how a lot of parents do not have time with their kids, and before you know it, they're all grown, they're adults, and they cannot wait to be out of your space. I mean, how we treat our children comes with whether or not they want to spend more time with us. I know sometimes it's not the way, but I think a lot of the time it is, because if I don't feel connected to a certain thing, I wouldn't want to keep going back to it. So what's your take? What do you think? What do you think can be done differently for us to begin to see that spending quality time is very important for us, and rather than spending it on our digital devices and social media and whatnot?
Well, alhamdulillah, I'm glad that you brought this up, because I remember when I was a child, we didn't really have like iPads or tabs. Like, it was just TVs. Even the TVs, they were those
Cartoons.
box TVs. Like, there was a limited amount of time for TVs. So I, as a writer, I think I developed that passion for writing from a very young age, because I wasn't limited to a screen. I was out in our backyard gardening. I was indoors, all those things. I feel like if I had been limited by a screen, I wouldn't be able to do all of that. And I also remember when I was young, our dad used to take us out almost every weekend, really, for outdoor activities, to like the swimming pool, to the beach and things like that. And I feel like parents of nowadays is more like a shock to me, really. I see how
all of that
when you're
is
at
missing.
home, everybody's on their gadget, the kids are on their tabs, the parents are on their phones. Like, even when you're sitting down to eat, like, everybody has one gadget or another. And I don't mean that gadgets are bad in a sense, because they do have their benefits and they do have their good points. There are so many essential skills that you could learn on your devices. But there are times in a day when you need to just say stop and like take a break,
screen
breathe,
time,
like reflect on the day, get to know your children. Like you said, before you know it, they're old and you can't get back that time.
You can't.
When you need it the most, like, you barely have any form of connection. So we need to savor the moments while we have them. And those moments can be created by looking at screens. You're supposed to be looking at the people that are right there with you, because you don't even know when, as I feel like, we don't know when we could die or when we could part with our loved ones. We have to make most of the time that we have right now.
Mashallah, I think that you said something about going out, like your dad taking you out every weekend, which I think is interesting, because right now it's really hard for you to see families planning to say, oh, okay, we're going to go out every weekend, we're going to go to this place this weekend and go to another weekend, because when the weekend comes, I don't know if times change. Oh, of course, times are changing, but I still feel like we can be intentional about going with the change we can do list, because as a person who works a job, I really just want to either do all the things that I wasn't able to do during a unit of family. Like, if you have a family, I feel like you need to make intentional goals. I don't know if goals is the word to use, but like the word isn't coming. You have to be intentional about how you want to spend that time with them. Because I'm always of the opinion that once these kids become adults, they do not want to hear anything else. It's either they're in the uni or they just want to even move out of your house. Do you understand how bad it is with this generation? It's really bad. No, it's bad. It's our generation, but I'm going to say that it is really, really bad. And when he spoke about that quality time, it kind of touched me because he spoke about that quality time. It kind of touched me because I felt a bit guilty as well, because I mean, I'm of the generation. I'm always on my phone. I'm not going to lie. And there are days I decide, okay, I'm not going to lie. And there are days I decide, okay, I'm going to take 2, 3, 4 hours of social media. I'm going to drop my phone. It feels like it is hard for us to drop our phones are right there in front of us. I mean, sometimes you even go out with your friends. I mean, it's so bad that you stay on your phone for the time you're spending with them. And I think that that's the craziest thing, because you can meet with a friend you haven't seen in years. And trust me, I'm saying this from experience, maybe the first 30 minutes is the only time you guys have real conversations. And you can spend the rest of the 2, 3 hours on your showing yourself memes and videos on your phone. That's how bad it is. And I feel like we need to do so much. We need to educate ourselves, first of all, because before you begin to educate other people, you have to educate yourself. You have to be self-aware. Like me, I'm self-aware. I know where my problem is, and I would try to, before I even come and say, oh, okay, you know what, I need to speak to other people about it or advise other people about it. So I think being self-aware and trying to work towards being better is going to help us and is going to go a long way. But I think that it is very important for us to really, really, really change the narrative. Honestly, it is important.
So going back to your point on us constantly being on our gadgets and how we're supposed to be the ones that are leading by example, basically, I am also a victim. I know I grew up without the technology, but especially I slipped and fell. What was I doing? I was on my phone. Well, if I wasn't on my phone, I probably wouldn't have missed that stair. Like, it gets, there's some, you're kind of incomplete. And it's not even as like young adults anymore. Teenagers, 13, 14-year-old. Like,
because you're a child. To me, a 13-year-old is a child. No offense. I don't have a child, but trust me, a 13-year-old is a child and needs to be treated as a child. Yes, I understand that. I meant, how much supervision do you give to those kids? Because I see really young people, Facebook and whatnot, Snapchat most especially, and I'm like, okay, are their parents even aware? So that's the supervision I'm talking about. You give them a gadget, you give them Wi-Fi, and they tell you that they are doing their homework. Meanwhile, they are doing other things. So the fact that the gadgets, the Google is there for them to do their homework, Google it. Because in my head I was like,
what is this?
Why is this coming up? Or they come home with 5, 6 homework. Why did they send them to school in the first place? Yes, it's good to test it, to test if they understand. Coming home with 6 assignments or homework is far-fetched, is a lot.
And in shaping the next generation.
They play a huge role. No, like, let's not even say back home at 3 or 4 p.m. because there's extracurricular activities or lessons, they call it. What time? They spend most of their time with the teachers, and what are the
And
teachers
you
doing?
look at what
I think
they're
I read a tweet. I don't know if it's a tweet or I saw it on Instagram about a teacher saying that, how did they put the English? Was it that, okay, yeah, it's speaking to the parents actually. It's saying that the children spend most of their time in school, but it does not mean that the teachers are solely responsible for making sure that the children behave. So funny story about that. When I read it, it was so funny to me because I met someone who teaches in a school in Kano. You're from Kano, right? And she was complaining about how they suspended this child that was in SS2 for sexually harassing his teacher. Yeah. And then when they called the father, his response was, I do not pay you such huge amounts of money to not know how to teach my child to behave.
What?
Yes. So in essence, he feels like, oh, I pay you and my child spends so much time in school. It is your responsibility alone to make sure that my child behaves. Meanwhile, that's not the case. I'll give you an example. For me, who is from the northern part of Nigeria, not is specifically Yobe State, where we don't really go to school. If you go to school and you're being taught in English, trust me, if you go back home, I'm not saying that people do not get quality education, but the problem begins to come up when you go home, they don't really speak the English for you now.
Yeah.
And you go to a very expensive school, unless of course your teachers put in so much and extra effort to make sure that you're a good student.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they speak English in school. You come back home to pure Hausa or maybe your language. It's either you start to mix it up, or your English is bad, or
both of them are bad.
Both of them are bad. Exactly. So it means that if the teachers are doing 60% work, the rest of the 40% that you have to work for has to be intentional. You have to make sure that you're doing it and you have to be diligent about it, because you can't tell me that, oh, because you're sending your child to school and okay, when they come back home, that's it. They've taught them everything that they need to know. No, the teacher teaches them what is in the book. You teach them other things like values.
Exactly.
And I think that's where a lot of people or parents get it wrong. Because honestly, I think I've said enough and a lot right now, because if I go on.
Funny enough, when you mentioned how parents only teach you your base language and they expect you to learn the English in school. In my case, I started school when I was 4. I knew how to speak exactly 0 English.
Okay.
My first day, I needed to go to the bathroom and I was struggling to communicate.
Oh my
how I was
goodness.
going to
So
go to
you
the
see,
bathroom.
you even have an experience.
Yes, I was so confused as to
how to say it.
The words were not even coming out of my mouth. Because my mom was just under the impression, okay, Hausa, they're not going to teach you Hausa in school.
Right.
But English, that's what they're going to teach you primarily in school. So there's no need for her to teach me any English anyway. So I'll just learn it there when I get there. But like you said, it has to be in fact, parents should have like 70%, and teachers are just there to give you the educational guidance that you need.
Yeah.
That's why you have so many different characters in one school setting. People that would even shape how you as a person evolve and grow. Because I remember, I think I was in primary 3. I had my first severe encounter with a bully. He was my seatmate. We used to share the same desk. He would stop me from putting my elbow on the desk and he would hit my hand if I did it. I was going to tell the teacher and he threatened me.
At primary 3?
He said that he would hit me if I told my teacher. It got so bad that I didn't want to go to school anymore.
Oh my.
My mom had to pressure me into telling her what was going on. And I had to summon up the courage because I wasn't a very vocal person. I summoned up the courage to tell my teacher. But when you look back on it, he had problems back home. His dad was a violent person.
Most bullies, I would say most.
So, like, although he has, mainly it's his dad's this thing, because it's what he sees that he's translating.
He had an abusive
out.
dad.
That's what he's doing to people around him. And that's not something that you can say, oh, you're going to just put on the teachers to show him that that's wrong. Because when he goes home, that's what he's going back to. Duty. We're the primarily ones in charge of shaping how our children are raised. Because at the end of the day, on the day of judgment, Allah is not
going to look for the teachers
or
nobody.
The people in the community. Is you, the father and the mother, that are going to ask, what did you do to make sure that your child was raised right? What did you do to make sure that your child is somebody that the Prophet ﷺ would be proud to call a member of his ummah?
You know, when you talked about asking the community or the teachers, growing up, your neighbor was allowed to scold you, sometimes even beat you up for doing something wrong. But these days, you can't even try it. I mean, there's no even sense of community to begin with.
Everybody does.
Everybody is living in one estate or another, and nobody is worried about the next person. You see your neighbor's child doing something, and simply because, oh, that's my neighbor, we don't even talk, she doesn't greet me or something like that, you just let the child do whatever they are doing or whatever it is they were doing, even if it is wrong. And I feel like that sense again, and make sure that it works.
Yeah.
Because if I see a wrong thing, I should be able to correct it, regardless of how the other person's parents is going to feel about it, right? It's anybody. You're not even allowed to correct another person's child, because whatever the child goes back home to tell their parents is exactly what the parents are going to believe, and then it comes back to you. So even me personally, I'm not going to lie. There are lots of times I see things and I'm like, it's none of my business. And that's not how it's supposed to be in truth.
No.
Like, we're supposed to have this sense of community togetherness and be able to grow our community together. He said, I'm tired.
No, we're bringing you another guest.
See live.
I was in the mood.
Yeah, so like I was saying, we need to build that sense of community so that we begin to see changes. But I think that a lot of people have lost hope in change.
Honestly.
I don't know if it's just a Nigerian thing, but a lot of people feel like change is far from us, because things keep evolving, things keep changing.
In the negative.
But I mean, I feel like with intentions, with diligence, we can, like the topic or the theme, recovery, we can recover.
Yeah.
I believe that we can recover from a lot of things. I mean, not everything, obviously, but there are certain things that if we put in place and fix, things are going to work out for us as a community and as a country.
Yeah. And of course, change is not limited to one person or one group of people. We can't just say that, oh, if our leaders aren't doing things the way that we expected, that, oh, that just means that we're doomed. Because change starts from us as individuals. We have to, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran, that He will not change a situation of a person until they change their own selves. So you have to make that first decision. You have to take that first step. And I also feel like that sense of community, it has really died down, because I think I had a conversation a while ago with my sister that was telling me that she doesn't even know her neighbors. She's been living in the house for almost 5 years now. She says she doesn't even talk to them. They don't even know each other. I don't think she's met them more than like a handful of times. And she was like, what's the need? And I was like, I don't know.
Every need.
Because I think I remember during our parents' time, like they were all very close-knit. Like if you had a problem, if there was something you needed help, you could always go to your neighbor and they could help you and assist you. And like you said, the community, they used to have a hand in raising the kids.
Right.
And even the Prophet ﷺ said that if you see something wrong, like if you can't change it with your actions, try to change it with your words. Like you have to actually do something, that you shouldn't just turn a blind eye or turn a cheek.
But that's what we're doing these days.
But how do you even do that these days when you don't even know who you're communicating with? And if you were to try, they might even take it as offensive, or you're questioning
You can
them.
get arrested.
Like it's really hard to navigate this new world. But yeah, definitely the world is changing, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. And instead of trying to dwell in the past or the current that we think that we should be living, we should try and adapt and adjust to that change as well, and try to make the best of it.
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting fact. When are they cutting? When are you cutting? People have to cut though. We don't have anything to talk about again.
Post the line.
All the topic where they are, I don't finish.